r/rules horror. Posted by u/ok_parfait_2304. Rules for foraging at night. Kit list: a wicker basket, a sweater, scissors, a musical instrument, sturdy boots, water, a snack, salt, blessed by your preferred means, if possible, an object of power, a childhood toy or trinket, a family heirloom, a religious symbol, etc., an iron or silver blade, a flashlight or lantern, a timekeeping device, a first aid kit. 0. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, so prepare like a Boy Scout. Read each rule carefully, perhaps write them down or commit them to memory. Ensure that you have all items in the kit list or an otherwise suitable replacement. A knife may replace scissors, a burlap sack may replace a basket, a sweater may be replaced by a shawl or cloak, etc. Note, however, that the blade must be either iron or silver. A silver-plated blade may work in a pinch, though it is not advised. The salt also may not be replaced. Holy water or incense, for example, will not suffice. Your timekeeping device should be digital and not analog. They have not quite figured out how to mess with things like smartphones and digital watches, but are quite familiar with throwing off the time on a pocket watch. Check the weather before you leave. It is ideal to forage on a calm, mild night, when the full moon is clearly visible, not for mystical or paranormal reasons, but because it is less dangerous. A compass may be brought, but will be entirely useless. Bear in mind that this journey is not for the easily distracted, unobservant, or those who have spent very little time in the woods. 1. Pick a stretch of woods that you are familiar with. If you have not been in these woods, or are in an unfamiliar section, make yourself familiar a day or so before you go foraging. It will make it much easier to leave. Enter the woods about an hour before the sun begins to set. If you must drive to the woods, park your vehicle about a kilometer away from where you are entering, 0.6 miles, for those using the Imperial system. 2. You may bring a friend if you wish, but only one. You will not be alone, regardless of whether or not you enter the woods alone, and as they say, 3 is a crowd. Ensure that you are never more than 10 feet away from each other, and always in each other's line of sight. Hold hands if you must. Do not bring an animal companion, however you may not leave with your beloved pet. 3. Keep a steady pace, try not to run, or stop in one place for more than a few seconds. They like to play games, so do not give them the satisfaction of a chase. Stopping too long or too frequently allows them to catch up. 4. Keep quiet. You may hum, you may speak to your friend if you brought one, but nothing above a whisper. Try to walk on the moss, avoid the gravel, and avoid leaving a trail. If you have brought a phone, ensure that all sounds and vibrations are off. Never mock them. 5. If you hear whistling, you may stop long enough to take out your instrument and begin playing. They are accompanying you on your walk and they enjoy music. If you do not play an instrument, or if your instrument is too big to take with you, you may whistle back instead. Should the whistling stop, freeze. Hold very still. Close your eyes. Whisper an apology, make it sincere. Should the whistling begin again and you feel a breeze blowing at your back, you may open your eyes and continue on your way. Do not open your eyes until this happens, no matter how long it takes. 6. If you reach a split path, try to stick to the right-hand side, unless you see something to suggest it would be a bad idea. 7. If you see a deer, stop, and do not approach. Look at it. Does it look off to you? Look at its antlers, its teeth, its coat. If all looks normal, wait for it to pass. If it looks off, by any measure or for any reason, turn back. You've gone the wrong way. 8. You will reach a clearing lined with berry bushes, regardless of if there was one before. You may pick freely, however any berries must be picked before the sun has fully set, and not a second later. 9. Ask permission before taking flowers. You will know the answer. Be sure to pick them gently, and say thank you. Do not use your scissors. If they begin to scream and weep, you were too rough. Drop your basket and run the way you came until you are out of the woods. Do not look back or stop for any reason. You are indeed being chased and by something quite angry. Rest assured that their domain ends where the woods end. You may return to collect your basket in the morning, perhaps with an apology gift such as milk and honey. 10. You may become hungry or thirsty during your walk. Do not eat or drink anything that has come from the woods, no matter how tempted you may be or if you have previously identified something as edible. Trust only what you have brought with you until you are home and the sun has risen. 11. Do not step in mushroom circles, and do not pick mushrooms from a circle. Should you do either by accident, the woods will become still, silent, and ever so tense. Drop to your knees, Prick your finger, and leave a drop of blood on the largest mushroom. Do not just apologize, beg for forgiveness, and pray that they accept your apology. You may leave the circle if after 1 minute noise returns to the woods and a breeze blows at your back. If it does not, eat a mushroom as fast as you can. It will not kill you, but it will hopefully put you to sleep long enough to not suffer whatever fun they have planned after such a grievous offense. Perhaps, if you are lucky, they will become entirely uninterested upon seeing that you are asleep. 12. If you encounter other foragers, you may acknowledge them, but do not speak to them or allow them to join your party. It cannot be guaranteed that they are human anymore. 13. Should you hear a rustling in the bushes, stop. Point your blade at the source. Tell them to stop, loudly and firmly. They usually listen, though this cannot be guaranteed. If the rustling does not stop, or if you hear heavy breathing, stand your ground, prepare for a fight. Don't try to outrun them. You can. 14. If you see a bush with red flowers, hide in it immediately. Something is lurking, something far worse than them, and they are trying to help you. Make as little noise as possible. Whatever you think you hear, do not leave your hiding spot until the flowers wilt or the sun rises, whichever comes first. 15. Do not fall asleep in the woods. There is no guarantee that you will wake up. Exception, of course, being made for Rule 11. 16. Do not approach any water source without a bridge after the sun has set. The bridge marks a relatively safe path. Do not look into the water, that is not your reflection looking back at you. Do not touch anything in or around the water. Water plants must be collected well before sunset. 17. When returning, do not use a flashlight. They do not like the unnatural light and may become aggressive. Ignore any shadows or light coming from behind you. A lantern may be used at any time, however may draw unwanted attention. 18. When you have reached the edge of the woods, say loudly and clearly, "I'm going home now, I think you should too. Thank you for walking with me." Repeat this if you feel someone watching you. Do not get into your car or enter your home if it feels like someone is watching you. Remember not to run. 19. If you drove, you may turn on your flashlight when your vehicle comes into full view. 20. If you drove, check your back seats. Make sure nothing has followed you home. Extra notes. If you must rest for more than a few seconds, at any given time, take your power object out and sprinkle a circle of salt around you. This is your safe spot. You may sit here for no more than 15 minutes. If at any given time you lose your bearings and become lost, take out your object of power. Hold it close to your chest, close your eyes, and think of home. This will guide the way. It is unwise to stay longer than 24 hours. Those who stay too long begin to forget who they are. If you bring a friend and become separated, stay separated. Do not go searching for them, and should you encounter them again, do not stay with them. Do not interact with them until you are both safely in your vehicle, or safely at home, and do not lead them to either. If that is really your friend, they will know their way back, won't they? If on the walk home it feels like you have passed a landmark multiple times, or the journey is taking longer than usual, stop. Take a deep breath. Tell them that you don't appreciate these games and would like to go home, as if talking to a misbehaving child. Hold your object of power and continue on your way. Repeat as often as needed. If you must hide in the bush with red flowers, remember to hide all of you. Many make the mistake of dropping their baskets, not tucking their legs in all the way, peeking through the bush, etc. You must erase all evidence of you being there. If you are not completely and entirely hidden, their protection cannot save you from what is searching for you. Do not worry, they have been watching you. The bush will be big enough even if you brought a friend. If you are ever afraid, try your best not to show it. Remember that they enjoy games, and anxiety makes you the best playmate. If all goes well, you may return to these woods again. It'll be easier next time, but don't let that lull you into a false sense of security. Follow the rules, respect the woods, stay on your guard, and remember that sometimes, it is best to not go searching for answers. Happy foraging!